Now, people from Burkina Faso are fighting BBC News Africa based on the news that they posted on X platform, formerly known as Twitter. And according to BBC News, there have been an attack by the Burkina Faso's government. And then the youth or the people of Burkina Faso and Africa as a whole are saying that now BBC News, we know that you have been paid or you have been sponsored by the West to come and give us this news, because from their own research, the news that was posted by BBC News is fake. The name has always been Asterix. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and if today is your first time, click the like button, subscribe, and leave whatever you think in the comment section. Let me just go to BBC News Africa's website. I will read the whole news, and then I will come back to the comment section, and then we will see where people were saying that nah, this was even a different report, but BBC News is trying to frame it and put it on the government of Burkina Faso. So yeah, let's read. I read. So the headlines from BBC News Africa: Burkina Faso's military accused of killing over 100 civilians in massacre. At least 130 civilians were killed by Burkina Faso's government forces and allied militia in March near the western town of Solenzo, Human Rights Watch says in a new report. It says the massacre, following an operation led by Burkinabé special forces, resulted in a widespread civilian death and displacement of ethnic Fulanis. Fulani are pastoralists, largely Muslims community who the government has often accused of backing Islamic militants, an allegation denied by community leaders. About 40% of Burkina Faso is under the control of groups linked to al-Qaeda and Islamic State operating in West Africa Sahel region. And according to some information that I have gathered, the person who wrote the article for BBC News has a history of writing fake news. I have just searched this Barsalogho to find that less than 24 hours ago, he wrote a false article on mourners being killed in Malawi, which the BBC had to publicly correct and apologize for. That tells me all I need to know about him. So according to the comment section, people are saying nah. Even the person who wrote this article has a history of writing fake articles or fake news for BBC, and BBC Africa had to come out to apologize for this. So if we are seeing this same article from this same person, then the stories are fake. So yeah, BBC Africa, maybe you have to do your research well. This is what people are saying. I'm just a messenger. Now there is this post from El Roy. It says, yesterday militants from Jama'at Nasr al-Islam wal Muslim JNIM, an al-Qaeda affiliated group, launched a large-scale assault on army position in the city of Djibo, Soum province, northern Burkina Faso. At dawn, hundreds of militants attacked from the west, targeting the 26th Rapid Response Unit while many soldiers were still asleep, killing some as they tried to flee. The assault lasted nearly half a day and left up to 100 civilians and soldiers dead. According to Western propaganda at BBC News, the Burkinabé militant was reported to have carried out this operation. It is becoming clearer now, all these are being sponsored by the West. So I told Grok 3, which is a chat GPT for Twitter or X, to analyze what Roy posted. And according to Grok 3, it says, the video in the X post shared by Roy Consort appears to depict a militant attack in Djibo, Burkina Faso, attributed to Jama'at Nasr al-Islam wal Muslimi JNIM, an al-Qaeda affiliated group, rather than the Burkina Faso's government forces as claimed by BBC News. So according to BBC News, it was Burkina Faso's government who attacked the civilians, but this guy's post is saying otherwise. So I continue. This contradicts the narrative presented by BBC News Africa, which reported that the Burkina Faso military was responsible for the civilians' death near Solenzo. JNIM's attack on Djibo involved hundreds of militants targeting military positions, resulting in significant casualties among civilians and soldiers, as well as the freeing of prisoners and capture of weapons. This event is part of broader pattern of insurgent activity in the Sahel region, where JNIM has been increasingly active, with a notable increase in violent events from 2019 to 2021 as documented by the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Project (ACLED). The discrepancy between the accounts suggests a potential misinformation campaign or propaganda effort, possibly influenced by Western interests, as alleged in the post. This aligns with historical instances where Western media has been criticized for biased reporting on African conflict, and it raises questions about the reliability of information sources in conflict. Zones. So if you check, according to them, they are saying that the West has been sponsoring the Fulani, the Boko Haram, these JNIM people that are attacking Burkinabé. And according to some posts on X, there has been some news which justify that yes, the West has been sponsoring this.
Your money, $697 million annually, plus the shipments of cash funds madrasas, ISIS, al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, ISIS Khorasan, terrorist training camps. That's what it's funding.
But right now, they are trying to frame it on Captain Ibrahim. A lot of the comments are saying that because Captain Ibrahim visited the Russian president recently, the West are trying to, give a bad narrative, a bad reputation, trying to frame him so that when they attack him, the attack will be justified. So for instance, they are saying that they did the same to Gaddafi. They started saying that Gaddafi wasn't the right person, Gaddafi was doing this, Gaddafi was doing that, and as a result of that, the US attacked Gaddafi and killed him.
Announced the death of Muammar Gaddafi. This marks the end of a long and painful chapter for the people of Libya, who now have the opportunity to determine their own destiny in a new and democratic Libya.
And when this happened, years later, Obama came out to say that the attack on Gaddafi was a mistake.
Asked on U.S. TV program Fox News Sunday what his biggest mistake in office has been, U.S. President Barack Obama said this.
Probably failing to plan for the day after what I think was the right thing to do in intervening in Libya.
In 2011, an international coalition that included the US, France, and Great Britain took military...
So we are going to read some of the comment section to you guys because like I said, the people of Burkina Faso and African people, they are not buying this story from BBC News Africa. Now I read, BBC, listen carefully, this is not 2011. You are no longer dealing with a silenced or misinformed people. This is 2025 and we are different generation, educated, aware, and unafraid to speak truth to power. Remember how your coverage contributed to destabilization of Libya and the destruction of its leadership. That history is not lost on us. Today, we reject any form of propaganda or biased reporting that seek to undermine African nations and their sovereignty. You have a choice. Report with integrity and fairness or respectfully leave Africa. We will not allow our stories to be twisted, our pain to be exploited, or our future to be written by foreign interests. Africa for Africans. Bro, the way Africans are coming together this time around, it busts the mind. Like, if you put your mind somewhere and you check how the comment section, how Africans are standing in for Africans, your mind will be busted, bro. And I like it. This one is from Dew Drop. Propaganda as usual. Do you guys think anybody believes the BBC anymore? Most people don't even watch your fake news anymore. Fake news channel. This one is from Emmanuel. He said Burkina Faso has no functional security system. This one is from Joseph Master. Those who were praising BBC for their useless Blood Parliament documentary 2 weeks ago, over to you. And if you check, this one is from Jeff. He says, please BBC Africa, assist in bringing this to light. Human rights and civilians are involved too. Communities are involved. So this post is about bandits leader Bello Toji, who has ordered 5,000 residents from more than a dozen rural communities in Sokoto state to flee their homes. And as I'm talking to you right now, Boko Haram has attacked one of the military bases in Nigeria, killing a lot of people. So he's saying that BBC News should shine light on this one. But this person, the salesman plug word was like, you calling upon the same people who are the cause of your problems. He said BBC Africa is a willing tool for misinformation planted by the British government to spread propaganda. Africans are more smarter now because we will not allow Muammar Gaddafi 2.0 to happen to Capt Ibrahim Traoré. Chuku Emeka Aaron, he said fake news. He said fake news merchant. This is dead on arrival. You want to sell your propaganda just as you all did to Gaddafi, Thomas Sankara, Lumumba, Idi Amin, and the rest of African heroes. BBC Africa, we know better now. We know our history and your propagandas won't work this time. Mark, he said, where were BBC Africa when people were killed in Congo? Up to date, things are messy in Kivu. There is a little damage in Burkina Faso, that in Congo. I have never seen BBC Africa come up with a documentary recently in Congo, but because Ibrahim Traoré is trying to change things, I wonder. So, I mean, you all know where this is going to. So according to the people of Africa, according to people of Burkina Faso, this is an agenda to bring Ibrahim Traoré down. This is an agenda to frame Ibrahim Traoré so that the West can, strike against him. The West can kill him. But right now we have seen the relationship between Burkina Faso and then Russia, talking about Ibrahim Traoré and then Vladimir Putin. They have come together to build and develop Burkina Faso. So I know that the propaganda will go on. Everything that they are saying, they can say whatever they want to say, but I don't think they can touch Burkina Faso now. They might have to go through Russia, or they might have to go through BRICS. So yeah, this is what is trending on the internet. I wanted to share light on it so that my audience can also see how people are attacking BBC News Africa on X, formerly known as Twitter. The name has always been R6. We have, put ourselves to put Africa there to help Ibrahim Traoré to build our continent. Because if not, we will be always begging our colonial masters. The name has always been R6. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to share and leave whatever you think in the comment section. Peace. I'm signing out.